Hi students, welcome back to class today. I hope you have enjoyed your weekend and you have done well participating in all the previous lessons, okay? Today we will continue from Unit 7. We are doing telling the time. There are so many occasions whereby people are confused about telling the time from a clock or from their watches, okay? There are two major types of time formats that we have. We have the 12-hour clock format and then we have the 24-hour clock format. Okay, so what is the 12-hour clock? The 12-hour clock is when the day is divided into 12-hour periods. So when you have a clock that is having a format that has divided the time into two 12-hour periods, it means that you are using a 12-hour clock. If you have a clock that is showing a 12-hour, it means that you have divided your day into 12-hour periods. That means you are using a 12-hour clock. An example is that a 12-hour clock comes with the AM and the PM. For example, we have 7:20 AM, which is in the morning. And then when a different watch is showing this same time in the 12-hour clock, it will also show 07:20. So the difference between the 12-hour and the 24-hour is that with the 12-hour, you see either AM or PM, AM being morning and PM being afternoon or in the evening. However, with the 24-hour clock, you don't see PM or you don't see AM, but instead we are using 24-hour periods. So which means our time starts from 1 up to 23, and instead of going to 24, we go into 00, okay? So let's look at what an analog clock is. We all see clock as round as this, showing some bars that we call hands on the clock. So with this clock, we have three hands here. We have the hour hand, we have the second hand, and then we have the minutes hands. Okay, so what is the difference? Between these three that you see a thin hand here. So the thin one that you see usually are in red color or in blue color, and that is called the second hand. The second longest hand that you see is your minutes hand, and the shortest one that you find is the hour hand. So this is a clock that shows with hands, which means it shows with these hands to tell you what time it is. With a digital clock, it shows you digits. So whenever you have a watch or you have a clock that is showing digits like 1, 2, 3, 4, and all these numbers that you see here, it means that you are using a digital clock. Okay, so these are the difference between our normal wall clock, which is an analog, and then our clock or time that we see on our mobile phones and our new watches that we have. So this is digital and then that of analog. Okay, very good. So what we'll do is that we will do a short task, which is our task 1, and that will help us to know the difference between our 12-hour clock and that of our 24-hour clock. So we'll do our task 1 from pages 38 and 39, added learners book section of your textbook. You are doing questions 1 up to 4, and with this one, it will expand your understanding on telling time. Thank you for joining this session. I see you in our second video. Hello, welcome to our second video. I want to commend you for your good efforts in the task 1 that we did before this session. We will continue our lesson on telling the time so that we will understand everything about telling the time. On a review of what we did from the first part, we went through a 12-hour clock and that of a 24-hour clock. So these are two time formats that we have, the 12-hour clock and the 24-hour clock. We have two types of watches or clocks. We have the analog, which shows time on the clock with a hands. And then we have the digital that shows time with numbers. So when you have a watch or a clock that shows time with numbers, it means you are using a digital clock. If you have a wall clock or any wrist watch that is showing time with hands, it means that you are using an analog clock. Okay? So with the time format too, we know that 24 hour is 24 periods in a day, and then the 12 hour is 12 hours in a day. On this session, we will still do more exercise, okay? Because with the exercise, then we can always discover what we have to know about telling time. So we'll do our tabs 2, telling time. This time we are looking at the skills builder, pages 26 and 27. We are doing questions 1 up to 4 also over there, okay? There are actually 9 questions there, but I will limit you to 1 up to 4 so that we see how the understanding is going to be bigger on telling time. Thank you. I'll see you in our third video. Goodbye. Students, welcome to our final video on our lesson telling the time. We looked at 12-hour clock and then that of 24-hour clock. We looked at analog and that of digital. But first, we did not show the time on our analog and that of the digital. So those of you who got it right, you will compare with what we have on the board so that you know that either your answer was right or was wrong. On our analog, we have 10, 12. So because this is an analog, you can only determine the time of the day, whether it is morning or evening, depending on who is wearing this particular watch or clock. So we can only say for now that it is 10, 12. It can be in the morning or it can be in the evening. With our digital, we have 12:34 p.m. So when we have 12:34 p.m., it is also specified that it is not in the morning, but this can be an afternoon time or can be evening time, because you have p.m. for afternoon and then you have p.m. for that of evening. Okay, so these are the 2 different kinds of clock that you will find. Either it is analog or that of digital. Digital comes with numbers, analog comes with hands. Okay, we will conclude today's lesson by having our homework on telling time. We will pick our homework from pages 43, 44 and that of 45 at the challenge book of your textbook. We will do questions 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, I hope to get your homework, completed homework before our next class so that we can continue with telling time. So I'll come again next week, and I hope that you stay home and you'll be safe. Goodbye.